Hello students, and welcome back to another drill. This drill will be working on the 4 families of movement that we have learned in our beginning ATS class. That would start with the Egyptian, which has a half turn cued with the upper body. The half turn only comes once, because if it comes again, then it cues a full turn. Then there's the pivot bump, which is accenting the right hip, going up, 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 up. And it can turn to the right, it can turn to the left, and it can choo-choo forward, but it does not go backwards. When the arms are changed, it can turn to the left. Remember that when you're doing your pivot bump, your knees are moving equally. The only reason that the right hip is higher is because your right foot is propped up on the ball. So make sure your knees are moving equally and you're not locking out your left leg. Next we have the Arabic, which begins with its arms overhead. And on the 1, the arms plunge down to the hip, the chest lifts, and we shift our weight to the right foot as we go up onto the toe. On 2, we roll the spine back. This is a chest-driven movement, not a hip-driven movement. So it begins with a lift and ends in a roll. Lift and roll, lift and roll, lift and roll, lift and roll. It can also pivot. It can have just pretty arms heading to the outside and up the center, or down the center and up the outside. Finally, we have the shimmy. The shimmy we'll be working with today is our standard shimmy, which is up on the toe. The knees are soft, the hip is engaged, and the hip, pardon my cat, the hip reverberates with every step that you take. So as you take a step, the hip reverberates. As you take another step, the hip reverberates. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This movement can come forward. It can go back. But if you pivot, please politely bring your arms up overhead so that you don't hit the dancer who may be behind you. So we're going to be working with these moves. Please pay attention to the transitions between the moves. When the arms are overhead, that's likely going to be Egyptian, but it could be Arabic, because we know Arabic begins with the arms overhead. When the arms are here, we know that's going to be pivot bump, and when the arms are here, we know that's going to be shimmy. So look for this information here. Also look for body angle and body level, whether we're on the toe or on the flat. I will be dancing away from you so you can follow behind. The song that we're dancing to today is called Hossani U, which is on the Itnin album put out by Fat Chance Belly Dance and Helm, and available by download on the fcbd.com website. So without further ado, let's begin drilling. finished. Excellent drill. Keep working and I'll see you in class.